Triangles be proven congruent? Explain. So our congruency for triangles is through these 5 different things. So if we're dealing with a 90-degree triangle, then we can use hypotenuse leg. When I look back at the example though, these are not 90-degree triangles. So right away I know that I can't use hypotenuse leg because these are not 90-degree triangles. Over here though, I look at this and I need 3 things that are congruent. So if I have two triangles that we're trying to prove that they're congruent, then I need to be able to say that this side is congruent to a corresponding side, this side is congruent to a corresponding side, and this side is congruent to a corresponding side. So if I look at this picture that I just drew and compare it over here, it's kind of tricky because I'm looking and I say, alright, they tell me that this side right here is congruent to this side. That doesn't help me at all because they're comparing the same triangle. It's like saying this side is congruent to that side. Rather, I need to say that this side is congruent to something on this triangle. So I look over at this triangle, it's not congruent to anything. So these markings are misleading because we aren't trying to prove that anything about how this triangle is congruent to that triangle. The only thing we can say is that this side is congruent to this side. And the reason why is from reflexive. So the reflexive property tells me that this side of the triangle is congruent to this side of the triangle. Now I could answer more things about the angles and everything if I knew that these 2 lines were parallel or these 2 lines were parallel, but they don't tell me that, so I can't use it. So let's erase that. And how can we put this into words of why we cannot prove that's congruent? So the markings here need to be corresponding to the other angle. So there are no sides given that are congruent to a corresponding side on the other triangle. So what that means is that just as what we were talking about is this side should be congruent to something on this triangle, but instead they're giving me that is congruent to both. So not enough